And welcome to another video about Tanker Panic, and in this video I'm going to talk a little bit about the modals. These are kinda important parts which you're going to open after a certain amount of time spent in this game, after reaching a certain level in the story mode, and you will be able to equip them into your characters to improve their stats, receive additional effects. These are like gears for your operators. So let's talk about it. At a certain level, you're going to receive such an option to farm for yourself here in the operation, in the resources, the model tests. Here are two sections, purple and orange. Orange is locked and is going to be unlocked after clearing 5.6 stage, which is far away, at least for me. But overall, the most important parts to keep in mind, that there are two, let's say, options that you will be able to farm for yourself, and you're able to switch them. They're located in one section. For example, here is going to be attack boost and HP boost, and it's a real random about how you're going to farm them, which one of them you're going to receive. So they're different of them. Attack boosts, I consider them being like a neutral for DPS, for your main DPS. They might work pretty much well. 2 pieces, the base attack is increasing by 14%. 4 pieces when releasing the energy skill. Self attack increased by 8%, lasting until end of turn, which is, let's say, not that bad. For HP boost, base HP increased by 20% with 2 sets, with 4 set, self-damage reduction increased by 5%, if HP is below 50%, receiving healing effect increased by 10%. This is for your main tank, for your main defender, and this working pretty much well. The other one, these are starting some elemental, and for the lightning element, physical damage increased by 10%, which is not bad. When attacking a target with bleeding, physical damage increased by 20%. The lightning, oh my god, my bad. For physical attackers, yeah, it's for those who are using physical element. My bad. But overall, you understand. For the ice as well, it's going to benefit the ice element, and most likely you're going to use it for your main ice DPS if you have such. For the lightning, thunder. So it's kinda arguable, I'm not gonna lie. Lightning damage increased by 10%, sounds good. When attacking target with shock, lightning damage increased by 15%. If the target has shock stacks 5 and more, lightning damage increased by an additional 20%. Sounds solid, and I wanna farm it for myself and try on my main lightning DPS, which is Koronisa right now. Because quite honestly, for now I'm using the attack boost. It seems kind of okay, but yeah, I need just to compare it. Maybe you can use it for also support unit, for some kind of an additional DPS unit that you have in your team. It might be helpful. This for the nature element, which there is nothing that many really to discuss. For the fire element, damage increased by 10%. With the burn crit rate increased by 10%. For the fire DPS, this is actually a good one thing, quite honestly, because again, for now at least, I have a feeling that we're lacking with the crit rate quite a lot. For the quantum element, when attacking target with radiation, quantum damage increased by 15%, and radiation burst triggers damage increasing by 80%. I'm actually not sure if right now it's worth to use for some characters, maybe. Here are going to be, like, for me specifically, maybe I'm wrong, but for now, by my understanding, the most interesting, because they're going to increase some side stats, let's say. And the first one, Raging Wave, is going to increase speed by 4%. When releasing skills, grants all allies resonance. Attack increased by 2.5%, defense increased by 4%, lasting 2 turns, up to 3 stacks, which is really nice. So for example, for breakers, for your pure support units, which are going to buff your main DPS, this is going to be a great one option. Why is it the case? So first of all, you want your support unit to take actually action in the first place, being the first to actually provide all the buffs, and after that have a turn with your DPS to already deal an increased damage. So for example, in my case, for Delling, who I'm using in my main team right now, I'm using specifically this one set, and because she is able to increase her speed, she is taking action as a first one character, she is providing buffs, and my Karanisa, she is dealing way more damage. The other one, on the other side, is going to be about defense bonus. So when attacked, gain a stack of Conjure Force. Each stack reflects 5% of received damage plus 50% of self damage of self defense back to attacker, lasting 1 turn, up to 4 stacks. If self HP is below 50%, defense increased by an additional 18%. This might be an option for the tank, but there are different things. Like this one is you're going to be just with a lot of HP, let's say fat enough, no offense to anyone. This one is going to increase specifically defense, and you're going to be more tankier. The other to mention, which are actually interesting, these are going to be about the effective hit rate, and you're going to use this one set specifically for debuffers, for those who are going to debuff opponents, and this might be actually quite useful for them. Each successful application of debuff or anomaly to a target increases self-attack by 5%, lasting until battle ends, up to 4 stacks. So it's like for supporter who is able to debuff, because also at least I have a feeling that certain supporters, they're able to deal kinda a decent damage, and those who are scaling from attack, they have in their kits certain descriptions where you're going to have a certain effect at a certain level based off your attack. So it's really about the kit and the description for certain characters. This might be kind of niche, but also still useful. For healing, for healers, healing effect increased by 10%, which is nice. When healing targets with HP below 50%, healing effect increased by 15%. If target HP is below 15%, healing effect increased by an additional 20% for healers. No questions about it whatsoever. And the last, block chance increased by 12%. Each time attacked, block chance increased by 6%, up to 5 stacks. Clears at the end of turn. If self HP is below 50%, damage reduction increased by an additional 8%. Well, for tanks, yeah, but I would prefer personally some other options, quite honestly. Maybe you have some real troubles with survivability in certain stages. If you have them just in your inventory, you may equip them and use them specifically for a certain battle where you understand that you won't be able to survive, but blocking certain attacks might actually help you. The tenacity break efficiency increased by 20%. At the end of each turn, self tenacity break efficiency increased by 10%, attack increased by 6%, lasting until battle ends, up to 3 stacks. So these are for control units, I believe, if I understand the effect correctly, but those who are with the symbol of stun, I believe that's for them. But anyways, yeah, so the most important parts, this one specifically I'm using for breakers, at least right now, who are able to buff my main DPS. This one I'm using for healer, which I have in the team. There is no other options, let's say. This one, actually, in my case, I'm going to show you real quick. Go into my operators. For the link, I actually provided her dam. I think it helps because she's able to debuff with her skills, and she is also dealing kind of some damage, so I think it's helpful. Yeah, what else? About my main DPS, I already mentioned this. I'm using this one set, at least for now. And for the tank, in my case, I'm the wrong one character, my bad. For the tank I said, I'm using this one set with increased HP. Overall, I don't have issues with survivability for her. She's tanking kinda a lot, so I believe it's a good option overall. And yeah, obviously using 4 pieces is more beneficial and more helpful. The only question which I have, at least for now, and I'm not sure because there is no explanation, no description or something like that. For example, I limit broke my main DPS and I opened slots 5 and 6. And there is nothing. There is a few moments which I want to mention as well, but I'm going to show you just real quick. We're going back to resources, to the model test. By my understanding, these drops we're going to receive exactly in the orange model as soon as we're going to unlock it, after clearing stage 5.6. But yeah, it's a long way, because here, for example, as you can see, at difficulty 1 drops part 1 and 2, difficulty 2 drops parts 1 to 4, with a certain chance to get yourself an epic, let's say, yeah, the purple one. And in difficulty 3 you have high chances to receive purples, but again, parts from 1 to 4. There is no other difficulties here, nothing. So I believe we're going to receive sets 5 and 6 here. Maybe they're going to be different, maybe they're going to be the same, but in this case it's going to be kind of an option to, you know, add specifically a 2 side effect if they're going to be just the same and nothing is going to be changed at all. The other moments to mention here is going to be, let me show you real quick, about slots. So when we're going to speak about certain positions, yeah, so this is the first slot, and here the main stat is going to be attack. At level 10 you will unlock HP, at level 20 you will unlock additional attack. Obviously purples, they're going to give you more stats overall as a base stat and also as additional attributes. They're going to be more. Here, for example, is 345 and only level 10. Here is 2 stats at level 10 and level 20, and they're higher. The second one slot, the main parameter is going to be HP, always HP. At level 10 this is going to be attack, at level 20 this is going to be additional HP, and they're all the same, nothing changing. HP, attack, HP, HP, attack, HP. So here everything is pretty much similar. At level 3 the main stat is going to be defense, HP and defense. The level 4 is going to be speed, attack and block chance at level 20. Here I can't show anything because I don't have anything, so I don't know what we're going to expect actually there. But overall, the most important moments. So ideally you want to upgrade every one of them at least to level 10 at the very beginning, and as soon as you're going to farm them, yeah, just step by step for every character, starting with your main DPS, just going to equip them and upgrading them to level 10. After that you will have to actually have a look and see where you're going to get for yourself the most benefit. For example, for my main DPS, I'm choosing the one which is going to provide attack as the main stat, and obviously at the second slot we're going to also receive additional attack. I believe at the moment when we're going to unlock legendaries, this is the second half of these modules, we might end up being with one more additional slot for some stats, I don't know, and obviously numbers are going to be increased, so I wouldn't really recommend to spread all of your resources like completely for upgrading everything to the maximum level. I believe it's not really worth it. Only main the most important and the most necessary one, at least for your DPS and probably for your tank, maybe also for support unit. Also focusing the main stat that you need for yourself. So again, for my DPS this is attack, all the rest they don't really matter. Here I unlocked attack great, here it doesn't really matter. here unlocked attack. Maybe lock chance isn't going to be that bad, but I always put my DPS unit in a safe spot. So yeah, not really that important. Now let me have a look at some other characters. For example, for my tank. The same situation, the only difference that here I'm maining HP and I'm focusing on HP. That's why I pushed this one to level 20. All the rest also level 10. For the healer, I have everything level 10, let's say, just, you know, to increase stats a little bit. And I didn't limit break her, she is still level 40. For my support unit, also 2. I didn't limit break her, all level 10. So I didn't really push these actually models too much. And for the Link, I believe I have one at level 20, and this is also with attack, because for her attack is kind of also important. Yeah, with that being said, for now, that's all I can share about models and my understanding about their work. I wouldn't really think to push higher than 20 for certain stats, because I believe it's not really that important. At least there are quite a lot of requirements in terms of levels, and bringing to level 80 this is a huge work, and there is really a lot of things to farm and do, so there are more important things to farm. Yeah, overall that's crazy. Just can you see the amount of the materials that I have here? It's only 6 levels. 168k just to gain 6 levels. This is nuts. And increase in terms of stats, they are not too great. This is insane. But anyways, yeah, focusing on levels is going to be another important topic. The single one unit which I have level 30, the epic one, and I'm actually waiting for the moment as soon as I'm going to farm myself certain characters which I'm missing, and they're going to be helpful for my team composition, just pure farming and waiting. And I'm going to progress with the story mode, and I'm going to wait till the moment I'm going to unlock the legendaries, I guess. After that, this is going to be another question. With that being said, I hope this video is going to be helpful for you. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe, and see you guys in the next one. Take care.